Good day, students. Today we are going to continue from where we have left off. So yesterday we have done question 4.1 up to 4.6, and now we are going to continue with 4.7 and 4.8. So let's get started. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back to our question paper. And let's look at our instruction. It tells us, insert column as indicated in the document. So they say as indicated. You can't just go anywhere. You have to go to where they indicated. So I'm going to look for the place where they tell me. And over here it tells me that this 2 column, I need to create 2 columns. So I go to my Microsoft Word document. Now when we work with our question paper, it will be much easier than working like this. So I'm going to my correct position. It's this 2 paragraphs over here. If you look at your question paper, like I say, then it will be easier. Yeah. So it tells us this two paragraphs needs to be placed into 2 equal columns. Now people, I always say, please use your show hide icon. You see, without it, you cannot really see what's going on in your document. Please use it. I always use mine. It makes life easier. Okay, so the first thing you do is you're going to highlight the 2 paragraphs that you want to put into columns. So highlight it. Please do not include this to emphasize. That's why it's good to use your show hide icon, so you can see where to start highlighting and where to end. Then you just go to page layout, you go to columns, and now you need to go to more columns because we don't need to do any formatting. It's just straightforward. We say 2 columns. Okay, now it looks like this. Now it's good, but it's not perfect. You see that these 2 columns, they must be in line with one another. Now I'm going to show you the method where we just insert a break to move this back to column 1. So what you do is you want to place your cursor right in front of the text that must be directly on top of column 2. So I'm clicking in front of the word the, then I go to breaks and I say column. I'm busy with columns, so please don't use any other breaks. So I'm going to say column break. When I click on it, everything that's before this cursor, it goes back to column 1. So I'm just going to undo it. I'm going to show you again. I click directly in front of the text that must start on top of column 2. Now, even if the text were on this side, in column 1, you would still click in front of the text that must start on top of column 2. Doesn't matter on which side it is. Column 1, column 2. You click in front of the text that must move directly on top of column 2. You say breaks and you say column. Easy as that. Perfect. Okay. Let's go to our next instruction. Our next instruction, let me just go back to our top again. Instructions 4.8, I think. Yes, numbers and lines in the column, or actually I think it was supposed to say paragraph, doesn't matter, starting at the vaccine and ending with constant. Start numbering at 21. Now the easiest would be to go and look where it is indicated in your question paper. Let's see. That's endnotes and thingy, delete paragraph. Here it tells us this paragraph. You see the bracket? Tells us insert line numbers, start at 21. You also see there's a page break. You can insert it now. So let's see, the vaccine does not contain. So let's go back to Microsoft Word. We can look for that paragraph. The vaccine does not contain this one. So firstly, we saw there were a page break. Now you can decide to put it in now or later. It doesn't mean I'm going to insert mine now. Remember, when inserting page breaks, we stand directly in front of the text that must move to our next page. I click I go to page layout, breaks, and please don't use page. We are going to use the one saying next page. Always our page breaks is done with next page. Okay, so let's go insert our line numbers. Now I hope that you remember how to do it. Remember, we have to protect our work. We don't want line numbers everywhere. So what we do is directly in front of the text that we want to insert the line number. We go and we say breaks and we say continuous. We don't use other breaks. It's not a column. We don't want it to move to the next page. We want it just to continue on the page, but we want to protect it. So directly in front, directly at the end, not on this enter sign, directly at the end of the paragraph. You go and you insert again a continuous break. If you do not insert continuous breaks, then your numbers will continue on this whole document. You will see when we insert that continuous break, it inserts an extra enter sign. I'm just going to delete it. Now, I've got my text. This continuous break, it is there, it's just hidden. Okay, so I'm going to highlight because I cannot see that column, that continuous break over there. Remember, I always say highlight, do not include your punctuation mark. Otherwise, it will also include this break over here, which we cannot see. So we highlight only the text. Then we go, now there's a few options. The one we've done, we chose the one saying line numbers, and we say line numbering options. And then over here, you will see the word line numbers. Click on it, add line numbers, and then start at, the instruction said 21. So you just say 21, you can click if you like. Just type it in, it's faster. Say OK, and it inserts your line numbers for you perfectly. Doesn't put it on enter signs, and it starts with 21. I'm going to undo it. Then all you have to remember, directly in front you have to click, insert a continuous break, go to the end of the document, the end of the paragraph, directly at the end of it, and insert a continuous break. Then you highlight your text. Highlight, do not include your full stop at the end. Then you go to line numbers, line numbering options. You say again line numbers, add line numbers. This instruction told you start at 21, and then you just say OK, it inserts your numbers for you. And that is all. Okay, people, so until I see you again, keep well. Bye.